Hello again and welcome back to the channel. I have been fighting off some kind of flu cold situation and I'm definitely on the tail end, but the congestion is hanging on. But we are carrying on. I'm not gonna let that hold me back. And I thought it would be fun to take a little thrift trip together today. So I will bring you along on my trip, share with you anything that catches my eye, what I might do with it, how I'm looking past any of the things that are just kind of like meh, and how they could be repurposed. And then of course, if I buy anything, I will share that with you and what I'm going to do with it at home. So I'm going to bundle up because it is absolutely freezing outside. We're gonna hit the road and see what we can find today. Our first stop is the Milford Market Antique Store in Milford, New Hampshire. This is one of my all-time favorite thrift stores, not only because the prices are really reasonable here, but it's also one of the tidiest thrift stores I've ever been to. They have a couple of rooms you can peek your head in and out of, and then they have 2 floors, so you can easily spend over an hour here shopping. For some reason, ice buckets always capture my attention. I love looking for things that I can use when hosting just to elevate the experience a little bit. I loved this stainless steel one with the red leather handles, including the glasses. It was $24. I'm always looking for specific textures and shapes of vessels. I loved the scallop edge on this vase. It could be used for styling or arrangements, and it was $22. This vintage Pyrex percolator was $25, and it initially just caught my eye as a nice styling piece for the kitchen, especially if you have open space on your shelves, but it did look like it had all of the pieces, so I think it's functional, and I love something like this for a slow weekend morning when you just want to slow down your routine. I have been collecting wrought iron patio and garden furniture over the last few years, and this piece would have been perfect for the collection. It's a freestanding hanging plant basket. It was $119, so it was a little bit pricey, but this would be perfect on a patio or a porch. As a gardener, I'm always looking for things to add to my gardening spaces that are both cute and functional. Both of these hand brooms were under $10, and I thought they'd be perfect for a gardening bench where you're planting seeds or repotting plants and spilling soil just to keep the space tidy. Always keep your eyes peeled for art and don't be swayed by a frame or mat that you don't particularly like. I'm specifically looking for real paintings, not prints, and just colors that work with the style of my home. You can always pop the artwork out and swap out the frame or remat it. The size of this one for $50 felt like a really good price. Wicker furniture can be tricky to find in good condition, and when it is, it can be pricey. This was $190, but absolutely adorable and could be used for so many different things. Hot tip, don't forget to look at the floor. There are a lot of things for sale that you're actually walking on, like wool rugs. Don't pass up things that look like they might have been in your grandmother's house. Glass and crystal reflect light so well, so they add a nice little sparkle and elevated look to your decor. Okay, a moment for these candle holders. I love the glass star shape. They were just $3 each and in bulk, so you could create a really fun tablescape with these. Used books, especially children's books, are a great buy. They make great gifts and you can build your own collection without breaking the bank. Here we go again with the wrought iron furniture. I did not purchase this and I absolutely should have. It was $12 and perfect for a plant stand. Don't be afraid to reach for things that reflect your personal style and interest. Who cares if your friends like it? If you love it, get it. This was $4.50. Gold gilt anything just screams elegance. Mirrors, frames, you name it. Brass is a material that can be incorporated into so many different decor styles, but it can be overpriced, so keep an eye out for the low price tags. I love styling with candlesticks. They're great for mantles, bookshelves, tablescapes, you name it. I told you, ice buckets always catch my eye. I love this Wexford glass style, and it would be really fitting for a holiday party, but also a good gift for a host or hostess. I like to thumb through the linens to look for unique patterns, but just because these are tablecloths or napkins does not mean that's how they have to be used. I just think of these as piles of fabric. More books, always more books. When it comes to styling, I tend to gravitate toward 2 things, either titles that are somewhat nostalgic or covers with colors or patterns that I think would work well with my decor style.
Another hot tip when you're looking at pottery or china, flip it over and look for a maker's mark or a brand. Some items are actually more valuable than the price lets on. Surprise, surprise, something that was green caught my eye, but I really loved this and it would make a fun gift. It's a picnic backpack and it has all of the supplies in it for $26. Sometimes I can't make any sense of what is in old books, but this short French grammar book would actually be useful and it's cute. I love the variety of colors in this wool rug, and at $98 I felt like that was a fair price for the size. Another item I regret not buying, these chinoiserie bud vases would be so striking with bright spring blooms. This one did stop me in my tracks. I love the soft color palette and that frame is absolutely to die for. It was $95, which I feel like for a real oil painting and not a print is very reasonable. These spiky and holy little gadgets are called flower frogs and they help keep your stems upright in a flower arrangement. I have seen these for under $15 and they're great to have in your arsenal. You can do so many things with a basket and I really liked this hanging one. I thought it would be great in an entryway to collect bits and bobs and keep the space tidy. Now this basket is a perfect example of something you can think outside the box with. Imagine this stuffed with fresh or dried flowers. Okay, I much prefer lamps to overhead lighting, and these mini lamps are perfect to tuck into little corners of spaces and add a little glow to the room. I use one in our laundry room to signal whether I have laundry on or not. I remember reading somewhere that if you buy beautiful things for your kitchen, when it's a mess, it will be a beautiful mess. So now I'm always looking out for pretty kitchenware like these $40 nesting bowls. Speaking of nesting, I spotted this set of 3 nesting baskets. They were kind of a fun shape and they had a really sturdy bottom. I think they were from Pier 1 and they ranged from like $18 to $24 each. But I thought these could be used in so many different ways. I spent so much time roaming around the Milford Market antique store that I ran out of time to check out any other places in Milford, so later in the weekend I went to another favorite called the Village Consignment in Chelmsford, Massachusetts. This place is cool because they have 3 different buildings you can shop around in. These glass bunny candle holders immediately caught my eye. They were $3.99 each and would be perfect for Easter or a little woodland themed room. Whether you use it or just put it on display, copper is a really fun pop of color in a kitchen, and I loved the feet on this colander. I'm always drawn to X-Base ottomans. They're hard to find and they can be kind of pricey, but there's just something unique about this shape. You already know what I'm going to say about the glass and crystal bowls. How cute is this? If you live in a small space or have small rooms, these drop leaf tables are really handy. Tuck them away when you're not using them or expand them for more surface area when you're entertaining. It's a frame, it's gold, of course it caught my eye. I love the size of this and I can easily switch out the art. These glasses with the stamped animals would be really fun for kids and make them feel a little more like an adult because they're glass. If you have the space to store them, these would make perfect ice cream cups. I tend to gravitate toward more durable items for kids that are also stylish, and I love this wooden truck. At first glance, you might be thinking, yeah, my grandma had those, but how cute would these be styled in a pink, girly room? Okay, this is for silverware storage, but imagine if you took out the red velvet lining and repurposed this for something like tea or jewelry. It's solid wood, and for 35 bucks, that's a good deal. Every now and then there's an accessory that catches my eye, and I really loved the color of this leather purse. It was $14, it said real leather and made in Italy. This would be a great gift for a host or hostess. It's a stand for hot casserole dishes so you don't have to put it on the counter. It was $28 and I love the style. Always keep an eye out for Christmas decor after Christmas. It's often deeply discounted. I thought these were so clever. $14.99, solid brass. They'd be great for bathrooms or a kid's clubhouse. Apothecary jars, love them. So many uses, especially with the lid. Great for bathrooms, cotton balls, Q-tips, things like that. Same goes for these little baskets with lids. It's great to tuck in a corner or on a shelf to hide things so you don't have a mess. We have one of these same lamps in Matt's office. I love the look. It was $25 and it really gives off like a library kind of vibe. This botanical pattern totally captured my attention. I love the little sugar dish with the lid and then of course the matching set of teacups with different floral patterns. I see baskets all the time at thrift stores, but I don't always see big baskets in good condition. This one was only $18 and felt like a steal. My husband grew up in Florida, so I thought these juice cups would be a fun nod to his childhood. $45, so a little bit pricey, but still cute.
Okay, fairly successful haul between the 2 places, Milford Market Antiques in Milford, New Hampshire, and Village Consignment in Chelmsford, Massachusetts. I go to both of those quite frequently and always find something. Usually smaller items, furniture I look for at like bigger antique malls or on Facebook Marketplace, but every now and then I do find some furniture. I'm going to show you what I ended up bringing home with me, how much I paid for it, and then what my plans for them are. First up are a few books. So I'm not a huge fan of just like buying books to style. I tend to not know what to do with them, and I don't like clutter, so I don't like holding on to just stacks of books in closets. But sometimes they like strike me, they have a really nice spine or a pretty design, and I really loved this book. I'm definitely a blue-green girl, so I always kind of gravitate toward blues and greens, and I loved this embossed like sort of floral design on the cover. I thought that would look nice kind of sitting on its side on a bookshelf with maybe a vase or something on top of it, and it kind of goes with the other handful of books that I have collected for styling. This one cost $7. A lot of times like the older books with these sort of rough edges of pages that are kind of falling apart are, I don't know, somewhere in the like 5 to 10 range. This one I felt like was reasonable given its condition and kind of unique cover. I got this short French grammar book. It's like a deep bluey green, and I liked it for the cover, you know, with the gold embossed title and the little, you know, gold on the side. But I also took French in high school, and I kind of thought that was a fun nod to like the past. It actually does have like terms and, you know, grammar in here, and who knows, maybe I'll pick it up and try to relearn again someday. This cost $6. The last book I picked up was this one called What Matters Most. I always love looking for kids' books. I feel like books are one of those things that like they just get so beat up, and especially young kid books, they put them in their mouths and they rip pages, and I've been wanting to build up a little kids book collection, so when I have friends over, their kids, we have something to do with them. I just liked the little message in this one, and I liked the little horses. This was $6, which I feel like is fair because the condition is practically brand new. It doesn't look like it was ever opened, quite frankly, so I feel like $6 was a good price for this. The next piece I brought home was this cute little frame, not for the artwork, but for the frame itself. I have been on the hunt for frames for quite a long time. I started creating a gallery wall at our old house, but then we ended up moving, and now all of those frames are sitting in a closet upstairs. One of my goals this year is to work on printing more photos, hanging more art, like bringing a little life to the walls in this house. And I really loved like the gold sort of ornate frame and how small this was. I paid $5 for this, so I need to think about what I want to put in here. I could do a little piece of art or print out a small photo, and then I will add some hanging hardware to the back of this so I can hang it on the wall. I am planning to do another video of like how I prep all the frames I collect at thrift stores for hanging and remat artwork and things like that, so stay tuned for an upcoming vlog on that process. Next up is this leather purse. I thought it was really cute. It's super small. It just reminds me of like the perfect bag to wear with like riding boots and a blazer. I don't know, not that I wear that all the time, but it just was giving like sophisticated English countryside, and I did check, my phone does fit in here. It is quite small, but I can fit like my phone, some chapstick, and keys in here, and that's all I would need for like a night out. It's real leather, and it says made in Italy, so that's always a nice sign. I only paid $14 for it. I don't buy accessories and clothing very often secondhand. It's just not like the niche that I seek out, but when I do, I try to look for quality items that will hold up over time, even if they're a little bit worn. I mean, leather is meant to show its age a bit, which is fine, but the strap is still in good condition, you know, the latch is still in good condition, and those are good signs for me. I purchased these two cute little baskets with lids. I actually already have one that's slightly smaller than this, so it'll be perfect to stack the three on top of each other. I love items with lids because it's the perfect way to tuck little things away. Like you could put remotes in here, you could put cotton balls in here in a bathroom, you could put small toys. They're in good condition. I love that they're a neutral kind of material so they can mix and match with all kinds of different styles. I paid $5.99 for the slightly larger one and $4.99 for the smaller one. These little teacups are probably one of my favorite finds of this trip. I loved the floral design and sort of like the earthy and jewel toned colors in them. They also came with a little saucer, which I thought would be cute if we're like sipping tea out in the garden. The first thing that came to mind was like Matt and I sipping our coffee in these mugs on the front porch in our rocking chairs in the summer. I'm not sure if he will, you know, go for that, but we're gonna try. In the meantime, I think they'll be cute on display. I'll probably tuck them away in like our little side cabinet over here because they're a little more like spring summery, but this is the life I want to bring into the house when winter is dragging on and I just need color and flowers in my life. Each of the cups and saucers were $4, so I spent $8 on the 2 of them. And then I also picked up this matching little, I guess this is a sugar dish. It was too cute to pass up. It has a similar pattern. It's definitely like a family of patterns. The brand is Port Marion Pottery. They're made in England. And I thought this would be cute. I don't really like put sugar in my tea, but this could be cute to like put tea bags in or store little teaspoons in. I don't know, the list goes on. Anything with a lid, like you can hide stuff in there. It could be fun in a kid's room. I mean, just so many possibilities. I had to have it, I couldn't resist. There was only one of them and the lid is just absolutely adorable. This was $12. The last 2 items are a little bit on the larger side. The first is this big basket. So baskets are like a no-brainer. If you're a beginner thrifter, just start with baskets. There's so many different kinds of baskets. Prices vary quite a bit depending on like which store you're at and the size of the basket, the condition of the basket. So when you find a big one like this for $18, you just don't pass it up. It is a little bigger than I was looking for, but I was thinking this could be nice on the side porch to throw like winter hats and gloves and things like that in, so we can keep them contained, but they still have like a breathable space to be stored in, and they don't end up, you know, sprinkled about the house. Last but not least, I did end up getting these 2 X-Base ottomans. They were each $25, and I don't know, they kept speaking to me. So I'm not 100% sold on this like velvety blue. I do love light blue, and I think I would like to incorporate some of that into the house. These could work well in front of the fireplace here or even at the end of our bed in our bedroom. But I got them because at that price, it's totally doable to reupholster these. So I could recover them in a fabric that works for whatever room I decide to keep them in. These were in decent condition. There are a few like surface stains, but because I'm going to recover them, I'm not that worried about it. I knew they were good quality because the tag on the bottom said Ethan Allen, and that's just like a reputable brand, so I'm not worried about them falling apart. For now, I'm going to use my green machine to clean them really well, and I'll just leave them to kind of air out on the porch, and then I'll think about where I want to put them and what I want to recover them in. So that's it for today's haul. I'll start to like sprinkle these things about and kind of show you where they land. I hope you enjoyed coming thrifting with me. I love doing this kind of stuff, so I'm hoping to do videos like this a little more frequently, maybe once a month, maybe every other month. We will see. Let me know down below if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for future updates, and I will catch up with you in the next video.